Local radio just for you. It's Witney Radio for West Oxfordshire. Witney Radio.
Hi, I'm here with Flight Lieutenant Will Stock. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Brize.
Can you explain to us what's going to happen today then?
So today is the media day we're hosting on 216 Squadron, and we're going to be launching 2 Tristar aircraft to demonstrate the capabilities of the aircraft in its last week of service, so we can give it all a very good send-off, and everyone's clear on how proud we are of everything we've achieved over the last 30 years.
Are you quite sad to see the aircraft getting decommissioned?
Yeah, it's always sad, especially the Tristar is my first operational type, and I think there'll always be a place in my heart for it. It's a very admired aircraft by lots of people in the enthusiast community as well. It's quite an interesting aircraft commercially. It's the aircraft that made Rolls-Royce as an engine manufacturer, but it only sold 250 models, which was quite small for the volumes at the time.
So Tristar obviously has been in service for 30 years now. What would you say the high points were for the actual aircraft itself?
I think the triumph of Tristar is it stayed very relevant as the situation has changed in the 30 years which it has been in service, and constant changes and upgrades have made it a very capable platform, and we've used it in pretty much every operation overseas that the Armed Forces has been involved in the last 20 years. So I think just to keep that aircraft relevant over that time frame has been a great achievement.
Because I believe the aircraft was actually commissioned just after the Falklands War, so it's been integral in every single conflict and situation since then. Played a part in the Air Force's life, which is kind of, well, it's quite long really, isn't it?
That's correct, yes. So we procured it as a long-range air refueler and transport asset, which we just didn't have at the time. And in that role, it's been great for projecting force and as a force multiplier in the air-to-air role, and also for taking people directly to where they need to be to conduct operations.
So what's next for you after Tristar?
Well, I'm hoping to get across to the new frame, the Voyager, towards the end of the year, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
Personally, with your training and everything like that, what leads you to an aircraft like Voyager or Tristar?
Yeah, flying training is a long process, and effectively it comes down to where you're needed at the time and which role suits you best, and I demonstrated my potential as a multi-engine pilot, and I'm very happy to be on the Tristar. I'm really looking forward to the Voyager. I'm just very happy indeed. And
lastly, I just imagine this is just a very, very exciting day for you today, and obviously flying's your passion, isn't it, really?
Absolutely. It's a job that I don't think you could do if you didn't have that passion, and aviation's something where you learn over a lifetime. Every day you learn something new, and I think that's what keeps the interest for a lot of people.
Okay, thank you very much.
Witney Radio.
Hi, this is Joe. I'm on the community show, and I'm flying about 18,000 feet above Oxfordshire with Wing Commander Pete Morgan from 216 Squadron. It's an exciting day today, but it's a sad day for you as well, isn't it, really?
It is. I mean, it's lovely to be able to show off the aircraft to you, but as I say, tinged with sadness knowing that tomorrow we deliver our last 4 aircraft, and effectively in a week's time, on the 31st, 216 is officially disbanded. We had our disbandment parade last Thursday where we handed over our standard, but next Monday is the final day after 30 years flying the Tristar and 96 years as a squadron.
How important has the Tristar been to operationals in the RAF?
It has been critical. I mean, there's no war that we've been involved in the last 30 years that hasn't required a Tristar, whether taking people or material out there or doing air-to-air refuelling. I look back to the days of Op Granby, for example, 1990, the first Gulf War. 2 Tristars were based out in theatre the whole time. We painted them pink, Pinky and Perky they were called, and they just spent the whole 4 months flying air-to-air refuelling missions, supporting coalition aircraft over Iraq, and absolutely vital.
So has the 216 Squadron been based in Brize, Norton for all of its time?
It hasn't, no. I mean, the squadron was formed in France back in World War I. We were based there, and then at the end of the war we went out to the Middle and Far East, and we spent until 1958 based overseas in the Middle East. It was only then that we came back to the United Kingdom and were based at Lynham down the road flying the Comet in the VIP role, and then we reformed here at Brize Norton in 1983 and been here ever since.
Will many of the staff from 216 Squadron stay in Brize Norton, or is it just, will they be dispersed now?
Many of them will. Many of them are staying, but about half. There's only space for about half of them, either flying the new aircraft here at Brize, or doing some of the engineering work. The rest are going to different jobs around the Air Force, as far afield as Seville in Spain to do the A400 project, up to Scotland and even to the East Coast.
Can you explain to us what's going to happen on the flight today?
Yeah, today we are heading over to the North Sea, where we're going to watch our sister aircraft do some air-to-air refuelling of some typhoons and a tornado. We're going to watch that for about 45 minutes, and then we'll peel off and head home whilst that aircraft goes and says a final farewell to some of our industry supporters, one based in Cambridge and one based down in Bournemouth.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Witney Radio.
Now we're on the last Tristar, operational one from Brize Norton, and we're quite high above the North Sea at the moment, and I'm here with the Mayor of Carterton in Little. It's a pretty special day for this plane and Brize Norton in particular, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it's a great pleasure to be invited along to join in with watching today's refuelling, and but very sad about 216 Squadron disbanding.
Because obviously the base is quite integral to Carterton as a community, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we enjoy such a close relationship with the community and with RAF Brize Norton, and one that's growing stronger every day.
Since Lynham closed, quite a lot of military personnel have moved over to Brize Norton, actually making Carterton a lot bigger and a lot more vibrant.
Absolutely, and we welcome them over to us. We're in a state where there's a lot of house building going to happen over the next few years, and we also want to change our town centre to complement the housing, so we do need new shops, we do need restaurants, and as a Carterton Town Council is very active in trying to get these things that the town need.
Yeah, because you just had 2 high-profile supermarket openings in Carterton, haven't you? We
have indeed, Morrison's and Aldi's, and it's been a very welcome addition to all our shopping here in Carterton. We want now some more infrastructure to help grow the town in the way that the community wants it to grow.
And any last words about the flight today? It's a beautiful day for it, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's been one of the most memorial days of my life. It's absolutely been splendid.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
It's your Witney Radio.
Just landed from the last ever operational Tristar down at Brize Norton, and I'm here with Matthew Falkus from airportspotting.com to just talk about the flight that we just had, and we're obviously off to see the new Voyager in a second.
Hi, yeah, that was a really great experience there to fly in the last Tristar sortie. It's a real classic aircraft, and last chance for anyone to fly it, really.
Why is it such an integral aircraft to the RAF over the last 30 years?
Well, I think they obviously took these second-hand as ex-airliners, and I think they really fulfilled a role for the transport to war zones, and the air tanker support as well to refuel fighter jets.
So is now the right time for it to go and be replaced?
I think so, yes. It's unfortunate to see them go, but they are from the 70s, and I think the Voyager is a really great aircraft, so it's the right time to replace them, I think.
So what's so special about the Voyager?
Well, it's pretty new. It's got latest technology, it's fuel efficient, takes less crew, so it's cheaper to run, and yeah, it's just really modern.
Okay, thank you very much.
For all your news and local events, it's the Community Show on Witney Radio.
And so what will Voyager mean, kind of taking over from Tristar? Will it just be a lot easier in operation terms?
For the crew of the Voyager versus operating a Tristar, the workload is much less on this. Your situational awareness is greater on this. There are a number of bits and pieces we've got to get cleared and be able to use. So that comes with a training burden. But in the fullness of time, this will be and only because I've flown the VC-10 and the Tristar and this in the air-to-air refuelling mode, I would say that this is more capable. Whether it's easier, that's completely subjective, but I enjoy flying this more. Yeah, I think that's fair actually. VC-10 holds a special place in my heart because it was my first type. Tristar was another capability jump when I moved across to that, but this is enjoyable to fly. Really enjoyable.
A lot of the crews that fly this come from those
yeah, they come from a spread of C-17, Hercs, some from the Shadow fleets over at Waddington, VC-10 and Tristar obviously, and some are fresh from training, straight out of 45 Squadron.
The reserve guys.
Sponsor reserve guys.
The sponsor reserve guys, how's that working out?
Working out really well actually. When they put on their uniform, you couldn't put a cigarette paper between the two of them. They are, to all intents and purposes.
They've all done a basic military course, right?
They've done a basic military course, and they come with a lot of A330 hours, and we rely on their experience to train us initially, and to then be that ear of experience to bounce ideas off. They're worth their weight in gold. What we're seeing here from the back of the aeroplane, we get a good perspective or a good sense of the size of the Voyager. We're looking straight down the middle. You can see the basket housed in the FRU housing. That's our centerline drogue. Obviously the white and black markings are the formation references for the centerline receiver. You look out to the right and the left respectively, where engines 3 and 4 would be on an A340 wing. We've got the pods. Again, coming out of the pods, coming all the way back about 90 odd feet. Big old hoses out the back of the aeroplane. If we come straight forward from the basket, following the line, you've got kind of a rectangular box that's sitting quite proud. That's the backwards facing cameras. It's all sat in that camera box. To the left and right of that camera box, you've got another couple of lenses, and they're the left and right lenses that we saw on the flight deck. The glass bubbles sitting left and right, those are the ones I was talking about that sit on the big screen that the MSO can rotate left and right as well. So in terms of overall awareness, we've got a lot of camera work around the aeroplane to keep our situational awareness up. Around the rest of the cabin, it's pretty much a normal A330. There are a number of other different blisters for the missile warning systems. Eventually, when this aircraft is fitted with DIRCM, they're all fitted as part of the standard fit. Not all of them are fitted with laser DIRCM on an operational requirement basis. In terms of the rest of the aeroplane, all marked up in military markings. Outside, apart from the pods and apart from the FRU, it looks like a Civi A330. So in terms of how this differs from every other A330 out there, we've got seats for 291 passengers, so it's quite a generous seat pitch compared to a Civi A330 that could be up to 350, knocking on the door of 400 seats. This is very, very roomy. There is no first or second or third class, it's all the same throughout, so everybody, regardless of rank or position, gets the same seat pitch. We can carry 111 tonnes of fuel, which with 20 tonnes of freight on board, that can get us as far as Indonesia. With 40 tonnes of fuel, you can maybe get to about 200 miles closer than that. So in terms of comparability, this has got legs it's just a real step change for the Royal Air Force. If we're talking about trails where we drag fighters from one place to another, we can drag 4 Typhoons in one go to the eastern seaboard of the USA, which we couldn't do before with our previous aircraft. So in terms of deployability, rapidity, this is a real game changer.
That was Wing Commander Jamie Osborne talking about the capabilities of the Voyager over the now departed Tristar.
Are you running a local event? Then get in touch and tell us about it. Then we can shout about it.